bounty hunter. You track people down for money. It is a dangerous profession, as most of your targets are understandably don't wish to be caught. You wouldn't have it any other way. You might have a code of ethics.
Never taken jobs that say target children or members of your own race. You might hunt down only escaped criminals. Or you might be completely immoral, taking any job that comes along for the right price. Right, so today we're talking about the bounty hunter. Starting out, as soon as you pick this theme, you get a +1 to your constitution. On top of that, you do have theme knowledge at first level, where basically it gives you a few things. Pretty much better at tracking down your targets, whether they are, say, a senator that you're tracking down because they're either corrupt and people have started putting basically a death pool together for this guy to die, because it would be a benefit to those on, say, AtCon or wherever or somewhere in the Diaspora, or maybe it would behoove your potential benefactor to have this person out of the way, so that's something that they want to have in power removed there for more nefarious means. It just helps you track them down better.
Okay.
It does, like a lot of other classes, it does reduce the DC of skills that pertain to this, instead of just giving you a bonus, which I kind of like. It does reduce the DC for profession checks, and for bounty huntery,
yeah,
and for culture checks, in finding out more about this person, whether if they go by, like, say, an alias, it helps with that.
Maybe what their schedule is, like what they do.
Yeah, what they do, their race, good general information about them. The only thing with that, if they do go by like an alias, you would typically only know that information, like in regards to that alias, not anywhere else. So say your bounty hunter skills, you know a lot to hunt down Daredevil. That's his alias, but you don't know anything about him being Matt Murdock, because those aren't two things that are tied together. We're just going to assume that Captain America won Civil War, which I don't need to tell you about the implications of Captain America winning Civil War. Or basically, people know the secret identities about that Iron Man one, so there's a registry, but that's neither here nor there. This sort of it sort of works with only one lane of knowing this person.
Which makes sense, because you wouldn't just because you're a cool guy with one of those kind of helmets, you wouldn't just be like, I know who you really are. Yeah. You're Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, like sort of like do you remember when with the Justice League Unlimited cartoon, where Lex Luthor, he got the body of the Flash somehow, and he went to the bathroom and took up his mask. I have no idea who you are.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm finally gonna know who the Flash is. Wait, I don't know who this is.
Yeah.
And he sort of put it back on, because he was like...
Yeah, it sort of works kind of like that, where if you don't know who the guy is. With this, you don't just only have one mark throughout the entirety of your career, which, thank goodness for that. Basically, if your mark dies, then you can basically take some time it takes like one action, it takes a minute to study the dossiers or this other information about a new mark, and then you get the rest of these theme features to take them. You can also just give up on your mark, but you do get a minus.
So you can just sort of be like, this seems like a lot of work.
Yeah, like say you were hired to hunt down Clark Kent, but you didn't know that he's Superman. And throughout your travels, trying to figure out who Clark Kent is, trying to figure out his schedule. It was the same guy that drug a bunch of planets a while ago out of their galaxy into another one. So it was like, I just have this laser pistol. Yeah, I'll go hunt down somebody else. If you do give up on your mark, basically you can choose a new one, but you get a -2 penalty checks to all skill checks for 1 week, sort of as a penalty for stop giving up every time the battle is hard.
Or I don't know, maybe just more thematically made something where you give up, but you still kind of feel bad, and you're sort of down in the dumps, and you're going to have a lot of like shit days where you're just I don't care.
On top of this, one thing that you also get is that you do get survival. Each of these, they come with another skill that you get on top of their ability modifier that they get extra. This one is survival, and if you're already proficient in survival, just through whatever class you take or what have you, you do just get a +1 bonus to survival checks that are on top of it. They're for that, so you're not just totally at a loss if you do double stack on top of these.
All right, so the skills in the Starfinder, they're a little different. So what does survival sort of entail? Is it just like...
It's like for tracking and things like that. So similar to 5th edition D&D, where it's basically sort of tracking, surviving, things like that.
Right, so it's not just Bear Grylls?
Yeah, well, similar to that in some ways, yes. Like you can use survival in this to survive out there, because if you're a bounty hunter, you're not always going to be at the lush motel that they're at the Ritz-Carlton, or the Motel 6. You're sometimes going to have to slum it.
Or the Moon Sleep Inn.
Yeah, you're sometimes going to have to slum it. Like, if you're just out in the, say this person is like, they have like a secret sort of mountainside lair or what have you.
Yeah.
They're probably not going to let you like live there, and you're going to sneak there sometimes. Or, you have to stay at a Motel 6.
Oh, mercy.
They do get Swift Hunter at 6th level. And basically, Swift Hunter is like you just know how to ask around about your targets and get more information than anybody else otherwise would have. So, like if you're a priest, unless you're looking up information about gods and monsters or demons, if you're just looking up, again, Clark Kent, you probably wouldn't be able to find information as quickly. With the Bounty Hunter, you can, and you got you can. I'll show you what it has here. You can use your diplomacy to gather information about a specific individual in half the normal time, and you reduce the penalty for following tracks using your survival skill to 0. And whether that be outside in the wilderness, tracking them down, looking at footsteps, listening to rocks, or you can go as far as survival, where you're looking up You're just looking at where they pop up, where their credit chip pops up, things like that.
Or you're just really good at sort of asking around without being like, "Hey, I'm looking for this person." It's like, "Why are you looking for this person?" "Oh, no reason. I'm their cousin." "Yeah." "You're their cousin?" "Yes." "I mean, he's a Shireen and you're a Vesk." "Hey, don't be racist. We're totally cousins."
Yeah, so it helps you out with that sort of thing. At Relentless at 12th level, where it basically reads you seem to never get tired. You can either be a relentless vigilante, or just some sort of tireless specter that's always out on the hunt, never letting this person have a rest. Basically, you can walk or otherwise be active for 12 hours at a time, instead of having to take a rest, instead of 8. Before you have to make like a constitution check for a forced march. You can hustle the day for 2 hours. So you can hustle 2 hours a day instead of 1 hour a day, and you reduce the penalty for following tracks using survival, moving at double speed to -10.
That's
so
good.
you reduce it to -10. It just helps to make sure your target doesn't get away.
Mm-hmm. So before we go on the next thing, what is hustle exactly?
Basically, hustle. You can move for 1 hour without a problem. Or you can hustle for 1 hour without a problem. Hustling for a second hour between sleep cycles deals 1 non-lethal damage to you. Each additional one is twice the damage taken. So basically, it's like sort of gutting it basically when you're running or when you're moving fast.
Oh, okay. So you just sort of push it to the limit or whatever.
Yeah, I'm sure you turn your hat backwards. If you do have a Zune, you do push to the limit. You try harder, basically.
Okay.
And so they can basically try harder for much longer. And their sort of 18th level ability that they get is a Master Hunter. And so your relentless pursuit of your mark steals your determination, and you can renew your inner reserves of strength. And this is basically once per day in the pursuit of your mark. You can review information about them for like 10 minutes, and you can regain 1 resolve point. Which is kind of nice. This doesn't count against the resolve points that you typically get for like resting, so you don't have to worry about that little stopgap there for
that's
that.
pretty good.
Yeah, and additionally, once per day when you defeat your mark, you also get 1 more resolve point. So if you are just if your entire day is a montage of just massacring all those who you know the names of, you just slather on resolve points, and you're just breathing the hot blood.
Or maybe it's something where you finally defeat your mark. You've tied him up. You put the space cuffs on him, but he's tripped the silent alarm. So now some of his goons are going to come and try to save him. You've already defeated him, and so now you kind of have you're happy that you defeated him. It's like, haha, well, I tripped the silent alarm, so
yeah. Or like say you do take down your mark. You think he was the kingpin of this operation, but just during the course of your search, you found information. No, there's a larger, more intimidating threat, underneath the depths.
There's the patsy.
Yeah, he's just the patsy to say this guy is Hydra Bob, and you're fighting your way down to Baron Zemo, and then you're fighting your way to, oh no, it's the Red Skull. And then past the Red Skull, there was that weird guy who was like one of the first Inhumans. I don't know his name, but please tell me. But he was like the reason why Hydra started. They were a cult.
No.
Yeah. But one thing I like about this, also, again, a lot of stuff with this one, it's super thematic. A lot of it is based around, hunting down your target. If your campaign does resolve around, say, a revenge story or anything like that, this would be the guy that you would want on your team. At least probably one of these guys for this.
Or it could be a good way for the DM to sort of give out quests without having to do the. And I hate having to do the whole Adventurers Guild, because that's sort of, to me, it sort of seems a little bit like DM shorthand for, I'm being lazy, just pick a fucking quest.
Yeah.
So maybe it would be a good way for, DMs sort of, don't just make someone a bounty hunter, but sort of, if you want to sell someone bounty hunting, that could be a good way to sort of get them into trouble, into peril, sort of get them out the door, because it's like, oh, well, I have a job, and,
And it would make your player it would help for your player's character to seem more special if you did have quests that were revolving around their theme or around them, as opposed to, yeah, you're all on here because I said you guys are all on this quest to go find these rare rubies. It makes it seem more special. Again, a lot of these are really thematic. It does seem to follow you throughout your entire career if you are playing more towards your theme.
Yeah. Or one other thing is, while sort of on the DM side of it, this could be a whole another video on topic in and of itself, but if you have a player who he's really distant, like most of his time while he's there, he's like,
well, that's a loaded phaser.
I totally,
Come on, phaser safety, dude, come on.
What? Oh, sorry, I do whatever you said. Yeah, it sounds good. If you have a player who's really, not engaging a lot, one thing you could do is maybe sort of sell him on being the bounty hunter, just so you sort of give him an engagement. Again, this topic could be a whole nother video or video series, but quick tip.
Yeah. Was there anything else about the bounty hunter that you think I should cover?
No, I think you about covered it.
Alright, well, I'm glad to hear that I covered it, and thanks for watching 20 Night. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I hope you have a great day or night.
Hey, this is Evan from 20 Night. Thank you so much for watching our video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and hope to see you next time. Have a great day.